thank you so much for the information what you gave about the campus ಅಥವಾ freshers ಗೆಲ್ಲ. I think it is very helpful. Very rural audience ಗಂತಲ್ಲ, even urban audience, lot of them will be clueless, ಅವ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಜರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಜ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಜ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. If not that, at least ಇವತ್ತು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, at least they will get an idea about how they can groom their students for future thing. Now coming back to one more topic which I really wanted to know about. You said diversity ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ, ರೂರಲ್ ಆ ಜನರೇಷನ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಆ ರೀಜನ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ರೀಜನ್ ಇಂದ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. The one diversity which right now most of the companies are focusing are women, gender diversity. So how important it is, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ which we are able to see, they're hiring more women, very good thing. They're employing more women, that's very good thing. A lot of them welcoming a lot of women, very good thing. But unfortunately I'm not seeing them, any of the women ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೈಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಟಾಪ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾರು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ರೋಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ರೋಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ 8 to 14%, that's all. In most of the companies ಈಗ ಒಂದು 100 ಅಲ್ಲಿ it is only 2 or 4 maximum will be the directors. Why is it? I mean, is it they just doing it to show that we are hiring women antana, ಅಥವಾ real there has been some defect with the demography antana, ಅಥವಾ why it has been happening like this, which I'm currently seeing.
ಬೇಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಒಂದ್ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, 3rd year they get married, 4th year probably they are on their family way, they'll have kids, and biologically we have to embrace the fact that the primary caregiver for a child is mother.
Okay.
Right? And then what happens? Naturally ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ, they are not able to continue in their job. Either they want to take a career break and come back for 5-6 years, or they want to move into low pressure jobs. ತುಂಬಾ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಜಾಬ್ಸ್ ಬೇಡ ನನಗೆ, ರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ನನಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಕೇರ್ ಗಿವರು, ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಇಂದ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರಲ್ ರೋಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರೋಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಮೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ರೋಲ್ಸ್. ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಇಂದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ,
upgrade often,
they don't have to get upgraded more often. So what happens, 70% of the women population either they drop out or they change their aspirations or roles after they come into mid level. That is the whole reason why organizations have not been able to retain the women talent for mid, senior and executive level.
Why do they do that? It is because of the primary, for the usually
mostly 70% of the reason, 70% of the times it is because of the family needs that they have to be there.
Isn't it a great thing we should, as a society, which we have to introspect?
Yes.
Why should a woman only be the primary caregiver? A husband can take care and let the wife can become an aspiration thing.
It is changing. If you see in the last 2-3 years, at least I have seen, there were a couple of people in my own team who came and asked for extended maternity leaves. They took a maternity break. After that, they were like, okay, I cannot resume back to work fully. Rather, I take a flexi opportunity because 2 days I can be available. Another 3 days, my husband has made arrangement from office to be available for the other 3 days. That way, I can work for 2 days and he can work for 3 days to be there. So, I have seen that change happening now. ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು 2-3 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಕೇರ್ ಅದು ಬಂದಿದೆ.
That is great thing, because that is when it will help women also to enable it. And like you said, whenever she was doing a highly paid job or like technical anta tagondre, which was very dynamic, which was very much of a skill oriented, her intellect oriented alla ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, once they have a kid, they want to get into something which is very operational, which is very mechanical, monotony ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. But that is where I feel with the family system, when you see the primary caregiver, the main source of income will be a husband. That is why she is able to make that flexibility of going to a traditional thing. So if a husband also choose that, it will be helpful for her to grow.
Yes.
I mean, nowhere it is their personal choices, but I feel it's again rooting it to the same thing.
Family ecosystem will have to start changing.
Okay.
Yeah, see, diversity and equity and inclusion is not just about introducing in the organization. ಬರೀ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಸೇ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ, ಇಕ್ವಿಟಿ, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ. 30% ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ತರ್ಬೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Until and unless every household chooses the equity and inclusion. Every household ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ, that's when we can really drive the diversity and equity
That is
at a whole ecosystem level.
That's what I feel, which I always tell. No, in family, when two people are equally contributing, whether it is financially, care thing, everything will eventually change. ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಕೇರ್ ಗಿವರ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸರ್ ಆದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ both of them, if they do it equally to the family, I think that would sustain every kind of an
Yes.
economy. And this was why I'm asking this. Recently, I was reading Vivek Ramaswamy is an Indian-based US alironto. He's written a book. Adrali he has mentioned State Street was a company. What they did, they stocks and shares. It's an investment banking company. ಅವ್ರು ಈ ಬುಲ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಮುಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರೇವ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಲಾಯ್ನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಬೊಂಬೆ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ವೇರ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಇನ್ ಕಲರ್ ತರ ಮಾಡಿ, ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಬುಲ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫಿಯರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸಚ್ ಅ hugely appreciated everywhere, saying that we are welcoming women to our organization. Everybody were happy and everything. But once you went into their audit and research ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, yes, they're hiring more women, but nobody is being highly paid. There is a huge wage gap between men and women. And that too, they wanted to attract more of black thing. So, black employees. But allunu there was a wage gap between them. So that was, again, it's a core class, which I always feel this is one of the eyewash, or they're doing it for a branding purpose and they'll answer that. But now the dynamics have changed, because recently our Karnataka government have also come with a new thing by saying we have to give 1 day of a ministerial leave for
Yes.
women. Anta. So all this will, I feel, will enable women. So what is your take on this? There is another counter take also that says, we have women ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ 1 day of employability would have gone ಅಂತ. But end of the day, I feel it's a business, because ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ನಾವು ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ವುಮೆನ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವಿಶ್, ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಐ ಫೀಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ನನ್ಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಆನ್?
Equality or an equity will truly come in the day we stop discussing about diversity.
Wow.
That should be the, end goal, is what I would say.
Wow.
Any organization, if they don't take a target on the gender diversity hiring, that is the truly
Wow.
diversity, right? Yes, about a year ago, every organization, lot of organizations now ನೋಡಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ರೂ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಹೈರಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ವಿಮೆನ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ರಿಟರ್ನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡೋಣ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಬೇಕು, ಅಪ್ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾ, ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಮೆಂಟರಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಎವ್ರಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಾಸ್ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫೇಸ್. Everything went well, and then there was certain disadvantages to it. A lot of women also started taking advantage of it. They started taking offers from multiple organizations because gender was the one, and they chose the best paid job, and they used to decline the offers. Yes, that used to happen, right? Corporate swayamvara anta karibodu adana. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಕೆಲವು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಗೂಗಲ್, ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಹೈರಿಂಗ್, ವಿ ಡೂ ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್. ಟ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ ಯಾರಿಗಿರುತ್ತೋ, ಅವರು ಮೆನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವಿಮೆನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರೇ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಕುಡ್ ಬಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಆಫ್ LGBTQ ಆರ್ ಯುವರ್ PWD, ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಟ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್.
What is PWD?
Person with disability.
So okay. There you consider them as also diversity.
Yeah, that's also a diverse thing, because they want to give that privilege and get people to join the organization and give equal opportunities to them.
So it is nowhere. It's mean their brain is mean.
Yes, that's all. They will purely go by the talent. You have a talent, you have a caliber, you bag an opportunity with us.
I think that's what even Microsoft also they removed it. Meta also they've removed.
Yes, they have removed. A lot of organizations have removed it today. There is one more organization by name Moody's. I would like to call this out. They've done a brilliant move. Okay. Our bandu, anybody who gets who conceives, right, or who is on their family way, get 16 weeks of paid leaves, 16 weeks of parental leaves. It's not a maternity or a paternity leave, it's just a parental leave. Either you're a man or a woman, you're having a child, you're expecting a child. Once your partner or a spouse delivers, or you yourself deliver, you by default get 4 months of maternity benefit. So that is the aim of an organization should be, right? What does equity means, what does inclusion means? Everybody are welcome, everybody, we embrace the diverse approach, everybody are unique. So I think the day when we stop speaking about diversity is the day we have truly embraced it.
True. That is also putting me to the next question, where a lot of companies have utilized this something called as wapas, when the women have a gap
Retention.
of maternity, they take it back and they're embracing it. It's very fair enough. Anybody who has a career gap can take it. But let's say if a man is having a diversity gap, I mean, men is having the gap of it, they call it a stability issue. Whereas for women, they take it as a break. Whereas for men, they call it as a stability issue. I think that mindset should also change.
Yes, totally with you on that. But a lot of organizations have already changed that,
Okay.
right? In the last 4 years, at least, I have seen organizations not questioning people on their career gap,
Oh,
right?
is it really?
So they
Okay.
just may casually ask,
ಏನಕ್ಕೆ
what were
ಹೀಗೆ?
you doing in this period? If you have a genuine update, like you had a family you wanted to take care of, you had an ailing parent in their last days and you wanted to be around them and give them that time, because a lot of us migrate to different cities or different countries for job. And we have not given enough and more time with our family.
Family.
So at that particular point in time, if you want to take a break of 2 years and you've been there, that's totally fine. A lot of organizations, that's what I said, right?
So now people, organizations changing?
Yeah, organizations have moved away from educational based hiring. Organizations have moved away from experience based hiring. Organizations have moved away from this job stability as one of the criteria. They're mostly looking at what is the caliber and a talent you're bringing to the table. Right? And it's happening today as we speak. Every organization is looking at it. At least the current organization I'm working for, we don't very much stress on the experience. Years of experience is nothing to do with the job level you have.
Wow.
You have a caliber.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬಹುದು currently?
At least 45 to 50% of the organizations in India today are on their way of this.
This is because of all MNC company influence,
Yes.
or it is an Indian originated company?
No. It is MNC influence.
So that's what they're doing. Yeah. And one more thing, which most of the parents, usually when we see freshers and all, usually most of the parents are scared to send their daughters, saying that it is not safety for women. But as an MNC person, ನಾವೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, it is most safest. ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಗಿಂತ ಸೇಫ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನೈಟ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಲೇಟ್ ನೈಟ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಹೌ ಸೇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಡೇಸ್.
I've been working in MNCs for the last 15 years. There has not even been a single day I have felt unsafe. Okay. That is one confidence I can give. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಟೀಮ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನಲ್ಲೂ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ. ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾನಿಟರಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ವಿಮೆನ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಅಥವಾ ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಲೋನ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್, ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಲೋನ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್. ಲೋನ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಬಂದು ವಿಮೆನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮೆನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವ್ರು ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ನರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ, ಆರ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ದೇ ಮೈಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸಾರ್ಟ್. ಬಟ್ I have never heard of a situation in the last 15 years where a employee was attacked or was in danger within the office premises or the campuses.
No, because
IT campuses.
now in school or college, there was one call center ಹುಡುಗಿ was there.
That was in a cab.
There was in a cab that happened. After her name was Pratibha, I think. Her name was Pratibha. ಆಮೇಲೆ people started to change that. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು they have to mention it whether they're safe. Mobile ಅಲ್ಲಿ they have given any emergency, they have to immediately
Press.
and there are
Button, call
GPS in each cab there is a GPS which has been installed, and no female employee should be alone in the cab. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಮೇಲ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. So lot of precautions they have taken. I think that is the most safest thing, and lot of companies are doing pause training.
Yes.
That is one of the thing, and it is mandatory. ಅದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿನೇ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲಸ ತೆಗಿತಾರೆ ನೀವು ಅದರ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ if you don't clear the pause training. That is good thing where there awareness. And one good thing is POSH is not only kept for women ivaga, it is they're moved it for everyone. So that's a great thing which they're doing, which I personally feel, which this is about women and everything, which we were also speaking about manager. But ivaga, when we're seeing current companies, lot of MNCs influence of few product based companies, now work life balance adaralla heladmele, lot of them are not going on hierarchy based. How is it? I mean, isn't it changing the dynamics? Why? Because There was one company in US called Zappos ಅಂತ ಶೂ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ. 2010-11 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. When he started, that person, just like what Netflix has, Reed Hastings has made no rules. The company rules is to have no rules. ಅದೇ ತರ he wanted to do that and he didn't have a hierarchy in it.
Yes.
Lot of them are welcoming it, ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. But what has happened, ಅದೇನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, he opened that organization, people massively went to join, but within 3 months there was 17% of workforce they moved away. By 2019, by 20, the entire company was dissolved. Why? Because you need a hierarchy for coordination. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we don't know who will do what work, ಯಾರು ಏನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. So it's always a challenge. So now lot of employees, though they crave that ನಮ್ಗೆ hierarchy ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, without hierarchy I feel there is no coordination. So what is your take on it? You want that manager hierarchies or no? What is your take on it, you being in that manager level as well?
See, yes, as you rightly said, most of the organizations are moving from hierarchy to flat structures, right? When you say flat structure, probably the reason why this organization failed is there was no accountability or the responsibilities driven for each individual.
Yes.
Right? You need not need a manager to do the mentoring or monitoring or tracking. You can still have one employee, right? And then give their responsibility to track.
To give, there was no hierarchy to give the responsibility.
No, but when you design the structure is what I'm saying. When you design the org structure, you can either make it hierarchical in nature or you can make it flat in nature. When you're making flat in nature, you need to ensure every person, okay, or every role what you're defining should have the right amount of responsibilities and accountability, right? That's what will make your organization more efficient. I wouldn't say that having a flat hierarchy or a flat structure is a failure or having a hierarchy is a success, right? It's all about how the ecosystem is designed. Organization is designed to deliver what it is expected to deliver. That's my take on it. Would you need a manager to do a job? No. If you need a manager to do a job, then why are we expecting people to have self-motivation? Accountability is a skill. If self-motivation and accountability is expected by default in the job role, then a person is expected to deliver what is expected to do. So are you really empowering people or you're just calling it out for the sake of
even
doing
though there is no hierarchy, it is very important to someone have an accountability. Or ಏನ್ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯುತವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. I think Netflix also did the same thing. Though they said no hierarchy, but they made accountable for it. ಆ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ. So probably that is a reason why the Zappos company had been declined.
So there's an organization by name Coke in India, in Bangalore, in fact. KOKE.
Okay.
Yeah. They are also in the same
flat.
Not flat. They don't have any structure. They don't have structure. They don't have rules. There is nothing. You are a colleague. You're given with certain tasks. You're expected to finish that and come out.
Oh, wow.
Right? So there are organizations who've been doing brilliantly well over the decades.
Okay.
It's all about hiring the right talent, getting them, defining the right responsibilities. That is what matters irrespective of the structure.
ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಈ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಕೀಪ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ರೂಮ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ನ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ದೇನೇ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸಿ. ಕೀಪ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ರೂಮ್.